Hi, my name is Annabel and I planned the Battle Abbey car show. So, firstly, what is an EPQ? An EPQ is an A-level standalone qualification designed to extend and develop your students' abilities along the A-level syllabus and to prepare for university or their future career. So, the topics that I considered whilst planning my EPQ was of course planning the car show, as I wanted to do a practical EPQ. As I'd say, one of my weaknesses is probably kind of long essays, and you can have a shorter essay when you do a more practical kind of artifact as an EPQ. Secondly, I did also consider the essays, which was Spain's culture and tradition. I'm hoping to move to Spain for university, so it would be really interesting to learn more about the culture that Spain has. To go alongside my studies of economics, I also decided to do a bit of research into the United Kingdom's departure from the European Union and its effects on the economy. So, what inspired me to plan this EPQ of planning a classic car show at Battle Abbey School? Firstly, my experience in visiting car shows. Well, at the age of 7, I have always been fascinated by cars, and me and my dad used to go to local classic car shows. During the summer, I also went abroad to Monaco to look at the International Fiat 500 car show. I also visited the world's largest car collection, which is Hayes Motor Museum. And I've always been fascinated and kind of interested in how it is to plan a car show and what factors you need to include whilst planning. Okay, so secondly, pursuing future career options, as I hope to go into the event management side of kind of cars and motorsport. So this would help to gain my potential career path, also through networking with classic car owners and the sponsors as well, and to improve my organisation and communication skills in my future career. So, whilst planning my EPQ, I got tips from event management and health and safety. I had regular meetings with Mr. Dennett, the marketing manager, to discuss initial planning for the car show. I researched previous successful car shows, and I visited car shows over the summer to give me an insight and a point of research in my EPQ essay. And I also did a lot of networking, emailing with car owners through the car shows and the sponsors. So, firstly, my research. I needed to look at the impacts of health and safety during car shows, so I looked at some successful car shows and what they used for health and safety. One of the points that I got from this was making sure that the cars were already kind of in position before the guests entered the car show, so that there wasn't a crowd while they were trying to park into the allocated spaces. I also complied a risk assessment prior to the event. I also looked up successful tips for event management. One of the tips that I took away and used was to make sure you kind of plan ahead. So I would do a kind of weekly task list, tick it off to make sure everything was done. This helped me to stay organised and efficient through the planning. So, meetings with the marketing manager. In the meetings, we discussed the date of the car show. We decided on going for the 16th of September, as this ran alongside the school's open day and the big picnic, so I knew that I'd have a wide audience already, as there would be kind of potential students looking at the school. This also increased the amount of profit I got for charity, and more of kind of an insight into the EPQ for potential students. The amount of cars that would be showcased at the car show, we measured out the grounds of the Abbey to see how many cars we'd be able to fit in the spaces. We worked out around about 19 cars would be great, so I knew when I went to the car shows that I would be able to look at the limit of about 19 cars. Will the event be open to the public or not? As I said, with it being alongside the big picnic, it was open to the school community, so therefore I only sold tickets to family members, and I also discussed raffle and sponsorship to again increase the amount of profits for charity, and the sponsors were kind enough to donate kind of raffle prizes from their companies, and in return for this they were able to get adverts in the programme. So, researching previous successful car events, I looked at the concourse on Savile Row. This is a small collection of vintage to modern classic cars. I use this technique to like implement into my car show by making sure I had a variety of cars through the modern car of the McLaren 720S, and then dating back to some old 1930 Riley March Special. Then visiting car shows over the summer, I think it was a really good idea to actually physically go there and see what a successful car show is like. Even though I've been seeing them since I was 7 years old, it was really good to kind of take away this information now that I could implement into the September car show. So firstly, I looked at the Eastbourne Classic Car Show. This was held on the park of Eastbourne, and it was overlooking the sea. It was a really nice venue for a car show. It was very well turned out. The weather was amazing, which I think also helped increase the amount of attendees. There was a very nice selection of cars there, and also they had kind of amusements. They had games which interest like the younger generation, which I thought was really nice. Secondly, in June, I visited the Rye Car Show. The Rye Car Show was really nice, however the weather was kind of impacted the day a little bit as it was raining, so not many people turned up. The car collection was a bit limited, I think, but it was still really nice to go there and experience kind of different sort of car shows. And then on the 16th of July, I visited the International Fiat 500 car show. This was solely just Fiat 500s, so there wasn't any variety in cars. However, I really enjoyed this. There was a great atmosphere to the car show. They had music playing. It was very well attended as well. I also, through this, wanted to be able to contact Fiat 500 owners to see if they'd be interested in coming to the car show. And finally, on the 7th of August, I visited the Who Car Show. This was again a very well turned out event, very good variety of cars. And I think I got most of my private car owners from the Who Car Show to come along to the Battle Abbey car show. So that was great. So after I came from these car shows, I would network with the car owners and say, I really loved your car, is it possible if you could come along to this event? I'd take their email and I'd be emailing them about the car show, when it would take place, what kind of things they needed to bring along. So when I worked out roughly how many cars were going to be there, I complied an entry form for the cars attending. So this was really good to structure it, see the certain varieties of cars I had, and it was great for research. I also visited local businesses to discuss kind of sponsorship. So I went out into the high streets of Battle, the high streets of Rye, to see if there would be companies interested in sponsoring the event. I complied another entry form for them if they were interested in sponsoring, and I also created an account to put the money through to go for the charities. So after this, they were able to send through their adverts and put them into the car show programme. So, an overview of the Battle Abbey car show. Firstly, the marshals. The marshals were great. They gave me extra support on the day of the car show, and I gave them chosen tasks. Firstly, one of the tasks that I got them to do was welcoming guests and car owners on the entrance. So if we had my special guests coming along, make sure that they had their tickets out, that they were checked, so we knew who was in the building and who was out. So I gave clipboards to see, what time everyone attended at. Also welcoming the car owners in as well, making sure that no other kind of cars that didn't have their entry form with them didn't come in through safeguarding reasons. I also had a selection of helpers help with selling raffle tickets to guests, which was really great. So I had a variety of people going around and making sure that we maximised the most we could get out for the charities. We also had guests, secondly, we had marshals collecting payments for raffle tickets and donations, which was really good. So we made sure that every person was writing down the numbers and names for raffle tickets. And we also had a photographer. One of my friends at school was a photographer, and she photographed the event as well, as you can see in these pictures here. And the guests and car owners attending. So like I said, alongside the big picnic and the open day of the school, we had students and parents of the Battle Abbey community attend the car show. I invited the 20 guests and they were charged for ticket entry, which went along to the charity. Each classic car had their own assigned number, which went alongside with the programme, which had the cars numbered, so you were able to see which car which car was which, because you were able to see with the number in the windshield. Guests also had the entry tickets, like I said, for the security reasons, so we made sure that everyone was attending, therefore we made sure it was a full turnout. Okay, so after the event, I asked for feedback from the marshals and the car owners. So this is the feedback that I received from one of the marshals. She said that the car show was one of the most memorable events of the year. Jess helped to sell raffle tickets on the event, and overall it was amazing to see how I organised the cars and the raffle prizes and the sponsorships to plan the event. Although, like she said, I was a little bit worried on the day, it was pulled off very well, and everything came together. It was an unforgettable event, and so many people came back congratulating myself and how much the day was like, it turned out so great. So yeah, that was really nice. And then this was from one of the car owners with the Aston Martin here. He said that it was a nicely curated show of a good selection of high quality cars from different types and eras, which was one of the aims that I wanted to achieve in my project, which was great. Good communication skills through back and forth emails, and good organisation on the day. The parking, that there was a lot of space in between each car, so people were able to walk through like the gaps, which was really nice. And it turned out, turned away one of the unregistered cars, which was really good, as it was really great to know that we had someone on the gate to kind of inform me if there was anything going wrong. So that was a really good positive, that there was a good communication through our marshal team. And the photography was great, to get good pictures of the cars, to use, well, of course for the presentation, but also throughout the whole kind of EPQ to add to my folder. And I believe the strengths of the EPQ was the communication. I think that emails, I was really good at responding back and forth through the emails, that there was like, you know, did it in good timing. So if there was any queries from the car owners, that it was kind of dealt with immediately. The planning and organisation skills to make sure the event ran smoothly. We made sure that everything was done like in time, really. So it was just like, you know, there wasn't really any hiccups on the day, which was great. The leadership skills when getting the marshals into their like allocated tasks, I think was really good, and having them was a massive benefit, so that it kind of took the pressure off me, and I had other people helping on the day, which was great. The marketing skills to get the sponsorship was really good. We had a really nice selection of sponsors and really great raffle prizes. One of the top ones being a trip to a vineyard as a tour and tasting, which was really nice. We also had ones for cream teas. We had vouchers, so it was really nice, and I think that really got people involved in the raffle, and that they wanted to keep buying more tickets to buy these prizes. And the display of the programme, which was really good, which I created myself, which I'm very proud of, with the adverts inside, the selection of cars and the raffle, and with the sponsors in there. Yeah, I thought that was really good, a really good strength. The weaknesses, I'd probably say, was the printing process with the programs, as we kind of had to deal with that kind of last minute. So I would say possibly my time management could be improved, as some things were kind of left like last minute. Maybe like with my evaluation at the end of the kind of EPQ process was done very last minute, and I should have maybe put that forward, prioritised that a little bit better. The communication system for kind of making announcements for the raffle could have been improved as well. I think maybe if we had maybe like a megaphone or a speaker system, because I feel that not many people in the audience outside were able to hear kind of the prizes like being announced to the winners. So that's probably something to improve on if I continue to kind of look at event management as a future career. So to sum up, I believe the Battle Abbey car show was a renowned success. It was held on a really nice sunny day, so we had a really good turnout of guests, and everyone said that they had a very memorable day, which is really nice to hear. All together, with all the raffle sales and donations and the sponsorship, we were able to raise £1,050 for War Child, Save the Children and cancer research. Thank you very much.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Annabel. Don't shut it down. I want to get a picture of you.